I go for refuge and turn enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving, so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and turn enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving, so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and turn enlightened. By my accumulations of practice of giving, so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanje Joda Zoge Jonamda Janju Bado Dani Janso Che Tage Jinso Kebe Sonamge Tola Penjire Sanje Dubarasho Sanje Joda Zoge Jonamda Janju Bado Dani Janso Che Tage Jinso Kebe Sonamge Tola Penjire Sanje Dubarasho Sanje Joda Zoge Jonamla Shanju Bando Dane Gyatsochi Jinso Gebe Sonamge Dola Benjire Sanje Dubarasho Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tejam Dathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashramanaye Swaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Desham Dathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Nirodham Evam Bhati Mahashramanaye Swaha Om Ye Dharma Hetum Desham Dathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha. All from the Manirasam courses, the courses are taught by the Tathagata, the cessation courses as well as taught by the Great Seer. What you will read, the three principles aspects of the path. Page 78. So the three principal parts, as you already know now: renunciation, bodhicitta, and a wisdom of emptiness. And each of these three points are taught under three subheadings. What are they? Why? How? Why, how, and what is the measure? The why to generate renunciation, how to generate renunciation, what is the measure of having generated renunciation? Likewise, bodhicitta, wisdom of emptiness. Okay, so we should be able to identify the where which part is taught. Okay, and this is extremely concise. And the meanings are very clear, and the reasoning is extremely powerful, and effectual. That if we practice, then these words are shared by Lama Tsongkhapa through his own experience. They would have been incredible. The impact in the mind. Okay, three principal aspects of the path by Lama Tsongkhapa. I bow down to the Venerable Lamas, as well as I am able, I will explain the essence of the teachings of the Buddha, the path praised by the conqueror's children, entrance for those who desire liberation. Listen with a clear mind, who fortune ones, one not attached to the joys of secular existence, strive to make good use of leisure and opportunity, and direct your minds to the path that pleases the Buddhas. Without pure renunciation, an end to attraction for the pleasures of secular existence is unattainable. The craving for existence also binds beings, thus from the outset seek renunciation. Reverse attraction to this life by reflecting on how leisure and opportunity are difficult to find and how life is ephemeral and without span. Reverse attraction to future lives by repeatedly thinking of the infallibility of karma and its effects and the miseries of samsara. Contemplating thus when for an instant you do not admire the splendors of cyclic existence and remain intent on liberation day and night, renunciation is born in you then. Renunciation, if not tempered by pure-minded bodhicitta, however, will not bring forth the perfect bliss of unsurpassing enlightenment. Therefore, the wise ones generate the excellent-minded bodhicitta, swept up in the current of the four powerful rivers, tied by strong bonds of karma, so on to undo. Completely enveloped by the darkness of ignorance, born and reborn in boundless cyclic existence, ceaselessly tormented by the three miseries, thinking of your mother as in this condition, generate the supreme mind of bodhicitta. Although you train in renunciation and the mind of bodhicitta, without wisdom that realizes the ultimate reality, you cannot cut the root of cyclic existence. Therefore, strive to understand dependent arising. One who sees the infallible cause and effect of all phenomena in samsara and nirvana, and restores all focuses of apprehension, has entered the path which pleases the Buddhas. Appearances are infallible, dependent arising. Emptiness is understanding, that is free for assertions. You have not yet realized the intent of the Buddhas. When these two realizations are concurrent, where the mere sight of the infallible dependent origination concurrently destroys them all modes of grasping through definite discernment, at that time the analysis of the profound is perfected. Furthermore, appearances refute the extreme of non-existence. When you understand that emptiness arises in the form of cause and effect, you are not captivated by the view of extremes. O my child, once you have thus realized the points that three principal paths, seek solitude and cultivate strong determination, and quickly reach their final inspired goal. Okay, let us turn to the In Praise of Dependent Origination, page number 104. Okay. So this morning, what we discussed is about how our mind works with the five omnipresent mental factors, and finally we see that the what we're doing, whether we embark on a journey, when we embark on a very important journey, like, okay, now I really need to, for example, like engage in some very systematic studies of the studies, reflection, meditation, and for beginners, it's good to focus more on your studies. Meanwhile, not compromising reflection and meditation. And then when the studies become quite intact meaning that you have the adequate amount of studies of the Dharma. You know now Dharma, okay, now, and with several years of studies, now I can see that this is how my mind works. This is a reality, ontological reality outside there, that not really objectively exists, but still things are operating like a dream. And then when my mind also works like this, you get a very good picture of that. And even if you discuss with any scholar, big scholars, for example, like big scholars from the big monastic universities, really the refined scholars, you talk with them, and then you see that information-wise, you got almost everything. When you get this feeling, from there then you are advised to move to the next phase. That is the phase of the reflection. Reflection, when you engage in the studies, the reflection is not to be compromised, engaged reflection and meditation, but a focus should be on these studies. And of course, that nowadays there are many, I'm not too sure too many, but there are several systematic study programs. So you can engage one of these programs. And for Tibet's programs, for the monastics, is purely 100% free for the monastics. Tibet's program, 5 years program, 1 year program, 6 year program is purely 100% free. No, the 100% scholarship, I would say. And for the students meaning who have who are ready to do full-time studentship with no job, then for you it is 75% scholarship given. But anyway, the thing is that even the 1 year scholarship, the fee, even if is too subsidized, that people, sometimes what they say is that those in America, they say that the fee the bank charges you for sending the money is higher than what you're sending. You're getting it? This is the situation. Highly subsidized. But at the same time, what Tibet House is saying, that don't compare Tibet House with other institutions. Because Tibet House, at least we have the financial support of the Indian government, and so therefore we don't really worry about the finances as much. And while still we take the fees, is let the people feel that they feel the value of this. Whereas many of the centers and places, they have to really survive. And even the survival is very important for us. So that with their survival, then the people can apply for these courses. So therefore, don't think that simply Tibet House, the courses are so subsidized, why the other centers are very costly. Don't compare. Okay, this is what I like to share. The point is that somewhere you have to, if you can do a systematic studies, that would be very helpful. That would be very helpful. Okay, so, and then once you get a good picture of the Dharma well, ontological reality means outside reality, and then how your mind works, how the emotions work, the psychology. Once ontology is more philosophy, then how the emotions work is psychology. When you know these two things so well, then the shift should be from the focus on the studies to the focus on the reflection. But the studies should not be compromised. Focus should be on the reflection, studies should not be compromised, meditation should not be compromised. And then once you get confidence that, okay, now this is emptiness, okay, this is Bodhisattva, you could feel something somewhere that your mind is. So where earlier your mind, you think about, may I become Buddha followed by all sentient beings, your mind resists, some resistance comes, or your mind is not really flowing, even though resistance may not be there, but it's not flowing. And over time, with constant practice, you see that your mind starts to flow towards the beings. So at that point, then the conviction is gained, and then you can see that, okay, if I spend more time on this, then the Bodhisattva can really arise. And with the wisdom also that, okay, what I'm seeing is not reality. If I put more effort, then I can see that everything is like a dream. So this confidence will come. When that confidence comes, then your job is to shift your focus from the reflection to the meditation. The job of the reflection is to gain conviction. You've already gained conviction. Once you get the conviction, then you move to the shift, should be on the meditation, the full swing meditation, without compromising on your studies and reflection. In other words, studies, reflection, meditation will all go together. Only differences say when you have to focus more on the first, when more on the second, that is something that you have to consider. Other than that, these three will always go together. And some people, they say very sad. Some people say that oh, I'm practicing and now I have no time for studies. This is very sad. Because, for example, my personal experience, say, with my daily practice, if I do these kind of retreats, intense talk on emptiness and so forth, while I'm talking to you, I'm thinking, while I go up, resting, thinking about all these, said how to make things easy for you, what kind of examples to give, and so forth. So in my meditation becomes way more clearer. So the point is that your meditation will be assisted, will be reinforced, will be, enriched, will be made more profound by these the studies and reflection is very helpful. And I would say that the people with the modern education, like all of us, the tendency is to just trust the books so easily. Simply as a book on emptiness does not mean anything. I'm saying this again. Simply because it's a book on emptiness does not mean anything. The books written by which author? Really, it must be by very extremely standard authors like Lama Tsongkhapa, Arinnigarjuna, Acharya Chand, and so forth. Because I know some of the authors who are listening to the teaching on emptiness himself, the morning and afternoon he's writing the commentaries. And these books are coming out. I said people who write commentaries who don't believe in what they wrote. They don't practice this. So these things are there. Don't trust the books easily. You have to get the correct books. Correct books, and they don't be swayed. Simply because it's a book doesn't mean that it doesn't mean anything. So make sure that you get the good books. Okay. So yes, this morning what we're talking about is how the psychology, how the mind works. Mind works with of course there are so many functions of mind, and we discuss the 5 very important functions which are known as the 5 omnipresent mental factors or 5 ever-present mental factors. What are they? Contact, attention, discrimination, feeling, intention. Very good. This is extremely important. And when I was studying myself as a student, I just memorized them. That's it. Memorize that and then debate. I try to disprove what the other person is saying. That's it. And beyond this, I could not see the value of these. So later on, after completing my studies, then reading books, my personal practice, meeting with people, teaching, and then seeing the world, complications happening in the world, so many complications. They were asking me how to do this, how to do that. Then this psychology that I studied, which the young monks and nuns, they study aged like, say, 15, 16, 17, they memorize this. This is a huge treasure. It's amazing. So the point is that from this, what we said is that finally that you embarking on a journey or going to a journey of, say, the uncovering your Buddha nature, this journey, or seeking a purpose of life. So whatever you're doing, so when there's the great enthusiasm in this, so what is happening is the number 5 is activated into the intent to embark on the journey, intent to finish it. And with this morning we discuss that with this enthusiasm, there are 2 kinds. What are they? Enthusiasm of consistency and enthusiasm of rigor. Don't focus on the rigor first, right? Don't say that I'll do everything, I'll do the best, right? Don't think like this. The first is focus on the enthusiasm of consistency. Start small. Start small. If that I say that, I tell people that for example, the young people like this, the young boy and girl from Tibet house, I tell them, first, don't think of, building an empire. Building an empire of your, startup empire. Don't think of that. And then even if you get something, small job, it's fine. Say, job in, for example, in an institution, a smaller institution, go for that. Instead of, no, this is too small, I want a big one, you'll never get it. Whatever you get, do that. Meanwhile, build your CV, which means that you are doing something. And from there, don't get stuck there. Some people, they got there and they get stuck there. Don't get stuck there. Be there, there should be like the airport. What's the job of the airport? From there, transit. You're getting it? So look for other possibilities, better possibilities, where you grow more. So which you are seeking, which you didn't get, from there see if you can get it now. Because you have taken the first step. From the first step to the second step is way easier than the newcomers from 0 to second. for you, the chances are much bigger. So this is how we have to climb. And many of you, I know, you don't need my suggestions, like Oscar, very experienced, right? So they don't need these advice. But when it seems particularly when we embark on your journey of the spiritual path, it starts small. Not only spiritual path, even your, say, the mundane responsibilities, work, job, and so forth, start small. Be consistent. Be consistent. And consistent doesn't mean that you have to be in one place all the time. Say when you get a better place, go. If you don't get a better place, stay there. This is how we have to do. So with the consistency, then you build an experience. You get experience, your knowledge widens, and then you go for the rigor. You getting it? The rigor. Rigor, expand, more, make it deeper. So this is how it should be. So how this has been all done is on the level of the intention. It's a mental movement. Intention meaning the mental movement of the mind. Movement of the mind. So how this intention, what decides the intention? What decides the intention? The feeling. When the pleasant feeling is there, then the mind will embrace, intention will embrace, yes, I will do what he said. So make sure that your mind the feeling is always pleasant feeling, peaceful feeling. This is so important to make sure that your mind is not disturbed. Okay, then the feeling, but yes, what you said is true. I would like to keep my mind peaceful and be happy, pleasant, but it never happens. So what do you do? Well, then what should you do? Change the discrimination. Feeling, don't come to me. Change the discrimination. Discrimination within you. You're getting it. So change your discrimination, right? Say, for example, it's just a very simple example. Say you come to Tushita, and then Venerable says that, okay, we have a single room, you are over there. Then discrimination, right? Discrimination. Wow, what a privacy. Pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling. When I say, what a privacy. Pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling. Pleasant feeling. Oh, I'm feeling lonely. Very cold, very lonely. Pleasant feeling, what is it? Pleasant, unpleasant? Unpleasant feeling. So discrimination decides what feeling you get. You're getting it? So whereas, okay, now we have no single room, you should be with another person, it's okay. Oh, I'm not lonely. Pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling? Oh, I have no privacy. Pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling? Unpleasant. You're getting it? So therefore, your discrimination makes decides the feeling. So if the feeling is pleasant, then the disturbance stops. Why disturbance stops? Because pleasant feeling, you like it. You like it, so the mind will not resist. You're getting it? When mind resists, that is when the disturbance happens. It's not external disturbance, it's a mental disturbance. Believe it or not, you sit like this, very peacefully, okay, I'm Tushita, very peaceful, right? For a short break from my complicated, the colleagues at the workplace. I'm in Tushita now. And your colleague also came to Tushita for a break. Your colleague came and passed by. You see, colleague did not say anything, simply passed by, and what happens? Your heart started to pound. Resistance comes, right? No external factor is resisting anything. Resistance comes from inside. How is it coming? Because the contact with the unpleasant, difficult person, then you got the information that unpleasant, and then pay the attention. Yes, that is the discrimination. Yes, this is the complicated person from which actually I ran for Tushita to look for the peaceful space. Now he's also there, she's also there, right? So then what happens? Feeling is unpleasant. With unpleasant, you like the unpleasant feeling or not? You don't like it. So what happens? Your mind will try to, what triggered this unpleasant feeling? That person in Tushita, right? So your mind will push it, resist it. But this person is already paid, signed up. You cannot say that when you compel and kick him out. You cannot say that. Your mind continues to resist, This is known as mental disturbance. And if it is for too long, it can become depression in Tushita. Right? And if it is very intense, it can become anxiety attack. You getting it? So this is all happening on the intention level. This makes the mind move. When it makes the mind move, say without your liking, then this is known as resistance. This resistance can really make you go deep into it can eat up your immunity. It can eat up your immunity. It can destroy your immune system. This resistance of the mind. So, how to tackle this is by changing the feeling. How to change the feeling from unpleasant to the pleasant feeling? Change the discrimination. How to change the discrimination? Information. Information that you gather by the contact and the attention. Information. Vast information, deep information you have ample of ways by which to make a correct discrimination. You have a lot of ways by which to create the sound discrimination of your choice to make your mind be feeling pleasant, make the intention to embrace rather than to reject. So when that happens, wherever you travel, you are very happy. All factors will turn out to be in favor of you. This is the time you feel wherever you go, it's your home. You getting it? This is why the great Tibetan saint, is there any on the painting of Milarepa? No? Milarepa painting? No? Okay. I'm sure many of you heard about Milarepa. How many of you have never heard about Milarepa? Raise hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Milarepa was a Tibetan yogi. And who is being accepted as having become enlightened, become Buddha within a single lifetime by all the Tibetan tradition masters, all the great masters of the Tibetan. They all agree that he is the one who really became enlightened within a single lifetime. You must read his biography, very inspiring. So towards the end of his life, what he said was that for me, whatever appear to me, they are like dharma. Whatever I see, they are dharma for me. Good, bad, whatever. Whatever I hear is mantra for me. So this is what he said. In other words, for him, anything that comes in contact with him, they turn out to be in favor of his journey, spiritual journey. So this is what we all have that capacity, right? Finally, how our mind works, we feel so hopeless. These things is all because feeling is unpleasant. And some people, they take extreme steps of committing suicide and so forth. This is because the feeling is extremely corrosive, heavy, chronic. This is what they're going to. And some people, they say that, why that person committed suicide? Why? The person cannot really even think of such thing. No, you have no experience. When the feeling is extremely corrosive, so heavy, when you feel so sad. What's that like? Extreme sad, like the loss of near and dear and so forth. And so there's something so heavy inside which is pulling it down, taking it down, it makes you totally like immobile. You have some experience like this, resents? If you have experience, yes. So it can go to the extreme. So therefore, feelings should be really taken care of. Make sure that we are not unhappy. Feelings are not painful. We have to make sure that somehow we have learned how to transform the feeling from unpleasant to pleasant by changing the discrimination. How to change the discrimination? By gathering the information, the contact and the attention, by getting the rich information, learn how to, so for this we have to know how your mind works, how your psyche works, and what's the philosophical understanding of the reality outside there. So if you learn all these things, then your mind, you will see that your life is extremely meaningful. Okay, so therefore, knowing all these things, then we see that the key to the happiness lies in your own hands. We don't really have to, go to outside. And of course, to reach to that level will take a little time. So the best thing is what we need to do is that if you feel a little lost or demoralized, sad, what is so important is that make sure, what I would say that in your family, in your own countries, do you really find somebody who can be there for you when you go through different times? Sometimes it is our mistake. You're getting it? It's your mistake, our mistake. That we're being so suspicious that we don't, even if there's somebody who is so competent, you may not trust. And because of which, then you don't find anybody, where to turn to when you go through difficult times. So it's so important for us that till we reach that point, the plateau where you can become self-sufficient in your own, finding your joy. So till that point, you must need some, the role models, some guides. As I said in the earlier classes, that in your own country, if you do find places like FPMT centers and so forth, make sure that you identify them, and you may or may not click with the teacher there. If you don't click, don't worry. Somehow nowadays there are so many possibilities. So if you do click, it's amazing. For example, like here, the Shundala, when she was in America, so there was the Buddha monastery there in America, and she and her daughter, both of them are they feel at home to be there. And the monk there, the main monk, who is the head monk of the monastery, was taking care of her child, and then they really feel at home, and they can get guidance, inspirations. Just be there, you feel the calmness. This we have to search for something like this until we reach that point where you become self-sufficient. So, and don't forget that you have the Buddha nature. This is an incredibly great treasure, and everybody has this. It's just a matter of how to take it out, how to retrieve this. But you have to learn the skill how to retrieve this. And for this, one thing for sure long term is the systematic studies. So meanwhile, I would say that we should be very realistic. Realistic meaning that only if you're really confident that you can sustain yourself materially. Till that point, you have to make sure that you have, some job, some work. This is so important. You have something, work, to sustain yourself. And meanwhile, don't compromise your study. The systematic studies of this, the means to retrieve or uncover the treasure of your true treasure, the Buddha nature. Two things together. Whereas some who are already very confident, that okay, materially I don't really have to worry about it. Now my job is to unravel this treasure. And if you belong to this category, then that is once you focus more on your, the spiritual journey. Otherwise, for most of us, we have to make sure that we should be very realistic, right? Very realistic, and somehow make sure that this part, the having a sustenance, material sustenance, that should not be neglected. It is very important. And because when that is neglected, in a way you are compromising your health. You are compromising your, the health, the food, stay and so forth. And if this food, stay and so forth, they are really neglected, your health will go down. When the health goes down, then you cannot practice Dharma. That's for sure. So those of us who really have to look for the material sustenance, make sure that part is not neglected. And then meanwhile, the other side, the main journey is the journey of retrieving your Buddha nature. Okay. So having said this, let us turn to, last time we read up to verse number 5. We read the 5. Okay, we read up to 4, and the 5 we have to explain it. Okay, page number 104, verse number 5. Whatsoever depends on conditions, that is devoid of intrinsic existence. Intrinsic existence, objective existence, what? True existence, inherent existence, independent existence, ultimate existence, existence from his own side, and so forth, is all synonymous, right? Okay. What are they? Some of you who would like to write, you can write. Those of you maybe first time hearing the synonyms of the objective existence. Objective existence? Inherent existence, intrinsic existence, ultimate existence, true existence, absolute existence, existence from one's own side, then what else? Independent existence. Okay, these are all synonymous. Whatsoever depends on conditions, that is devoid of intrinsic existence. What accidental instruction can there be more amazing than this proclamation? Okay, whatever depends on conditions, meaning that dependent origination. That something depends on the conditions, which means that it's not independent. And so with the analogy that I gave you this morning, that the cars behind me, when they know that, okay, our car smoothly going ahead depends on the front car smoothly going ahead. And it's not smoothly going ahead. So therefore, if that's not happening, then smoothly going ahead for us is not happening, dependent origination. Then what happens is that your sense of understanding, then the compassion, reaching out, helping, automatically comes out. Whatever depends on conditions, this is devoid of intrinsic existence, which means that you depend on this means it does not have an intrinsic existence. What excellent instruction can there be more amazing than this proclamation? 6. By grasping at it, the child is strengthened bodies to extreme views. For the wise, this very fact is the doorway to cut free from negative elaborations. Okay. Can you recall anywhere where we use the word elaboration? You remember? Raise hands. Yes, Mika?
To explain something.
No, what I'm saying is that you remember any section, the section of the text or sources or whatever, where this word elaboration came out. Anyone? Raise hands? Raise hands? Raise hands, raise hands. Okay, over there.
About the thinking process, the mind thinking process.
Where? Which section? It's true, is the thinking process, but where? Where? Which section? In which text? What? Anyone else? Okay, Shriya.
The 5 causes that lead to the samsara.
Where's it? Which section? Which text? You remember, can you identify the page? Are you sure? To say no is very easy so that you don't work. You remember? I don't remember. Then I will not ask which page, right? If you say yes, I remember the page. I may remember the page. Then I will say where. Then you might will think and then you grow. You getting it? If you say no, full stop. You not grow Shriya. You getting it? Don't just directly say no. I think so. I saw somewhere. Then where is that? Right? And then you say, I'll check. When you say check, you grow. Or you tell her. Yes.
The fourth sentence, the elaboration ceases for wisdom of emptiness.
Very good. And can you identify the text, the page, and so forth? So the Tomer identified the precise one, right? Anybody who can identify that? Which page?
116.
116? Okay, let's see. 116. Okay, ceasing the karma afflictions is nirvana. Karma afflictions arise from conceptual thought. Verse number 5. These arise from mental elaborations. Okay, the word elaboration comes here. Anywhere else. So this is one section where the word elaboration came out. Anyone, anywhere? Yes. Varma? 260. It's the same? Same verse? Same verse? Okay, any other verse? Okay, here, Lisa.
In the morning prayer,
Page number?
4,
Page number 4.
the last time, which is freedom of operation. The supreme, I concentrate with concept Buddha, the supreme among all teachings, one practice peace, which is freedom of operation.
Okay, these are probably too fast. For you it's very easy. So let's all hear you. Say again, which page number, which verse?
Page 4.
Page 4. Which verse?
After taking refuge.
After taking refuge, then?
Independent origination.
Yes.
No ceasing, no rising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is freedom of operation.
Did you all read this before? Have you seen this before? Yes. So there's only Lisa who said yes. You stay. All of this is so like you have never heard of it. Okay. So these things, being able to identify these things will happen if somebody goes through systematic studies. You're getting it? If somebody goes through systematic studies, then you'll be able to identify all these points. This is where your thinking becomes very clear. Okay, thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Okay, so here, this is another elaboration, the word. Now, so, say in two sections, in two different places, we find the word elaboration. You're getting it? So, then in this commentary which we are reading now, page number 104, there also the word elaboration came. It says what? Verse number 6, by grasping at it, the child is strengthened bondage to extreme views. For the wise, this very fact is the doorway to cut free from the net of elaboration. So this word elaboration, from what we know that this word elaboration comes in 3 places. This is one. Number 2, Tomer identifies. Number 3, which Lisa identifies. Okay, so this is a very important point. Now let us see that verse number 6, which reads, by grasping at it. It here refers to dependent origination. By it here refers to dependent origination. So, the childish strengthen the bondage to extreme views. For the wise, this very fact is the doorway to cut free from the net of elaborations. Okay, so we talked about dependent origination. And how many levels of dependent origination are there? 3 levels. And say that because that you are going to emptiness, because that we have like 10 days, you're going to emptiness quite detailed. But I suggest you, why not we also remember the 4 Buddhist philosophical schools? You have to remember these. So because that you are the right person to learn these 4. Just the 4 the labels. The first one is Vaibhashika. First one is Vaibhashika. Just remember these 4. And then say, if somebody from outside, when you talk about, I learned emptiness in Tushita for 10 days. And then the people may discuss with you and they are so impressed. Wow, you have a lot of things to say in emptiness. What are the 4 schools? And you have no 4 schools, they'll be confused. Because for them, the first thing is that 4 schools you have to have on your fingertips. Then study emptiness, and you do the reverse. When first study emptiness, then go to 4 schools. You have to have the 4 schools somehow. First, Vaibhashika. What is number 2? Sautrika. S-A-U, Sau, T-R-A-N-T-I-K-A. Sautrantika. Vaibhashika, V-A-I, Vaibhashika, Vaibhashika. Number 2, Sautrantika. S-A-U-T-R-A-N-T-I-K-A. Sautrantika. S-A-U-T-R-A-N-T-I-K-A. Number 3, Chittamatra. C-H-I-T-T-A-M-A-T-R-A. Chittamatra. C-H-I-T-T-A-M-A-T-R-A. Chittamatra. Finally, Madhyamaka. M-A-D-H-Y-A-M-A-K-A. M-A-D-H-Y-A-M-A-K-A. Madhyamaka. Okay, tell me what are they? Louder. Tell me what are they? Number 1? Louder. Good. Number 2? Sautrantika. Number 3? Chittamatra. Number 4? Madhyamaka. Good. And so don't forget, don't mix up the order. This must be the order. So from the first, number 1 to number 4 is progressively becoming subtler philosophy. So number 1 is the grossest, and number 2, 3, 4, progressively they become subtler. The philosophy becomes subtler. So what we studied is supposed to be the number 4. Which one? Madhyamaka. You're getting it? Madhyamaka. Okay. And that is number 4. And we have to really double check that you got the number 4 correctly, meaning that the emptiness correctly. You have to know the other schools also, Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, Chittamatra. If you don't know these schools, then you have no basis for comparison. Whether what I got is correct, not correct, the basic comparison is lost. Okay, so now we are talking about what it says that by grasping at it, what is this it refers to? Dependent origination. So when we talk about dependent origination, how the 4 schools accept dependent origination is very different. The first, okay. Okay, the first 3 schools, Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, and Chittamatra. First 3 schools, for them, dependent origination means only the first level of dependent origination, which is? Yes?
The results depend on the causes.
Yes, that the dependent origination of dependence on the causes, dependent origination of the results depends on the causes. Thank you. Okay, so the first 3 schools, for them, dependent origination means only the first dependent origination. The first level of dependent origination is applicable only to the impermanent phenomena, not to the permanent phenomena. Okay, how many you have lost your sense? What I said is, dependent origination for the first 3 schools is applicable only to the first level of only to the impermanent phenomena. Let me repeat it. Okay, say with a statement. Let me first make the statement, and then you ask me whatever question that you might have. I know you have questions because we are doing the reverse way, right? So your questions most likely people like Geshe, Salam, and then the Eliza, Carl, and Vishu also, and here the Shindala, Sherry Pema, and who else? And Gabor. So many of them may be surprised. This class is very different. We start from the end and going towards the beginning. Usually it's the beginning and then towards the end. And they will be right. Gabor, you're surprised? Quite. Yes. Okay. Say, first let me make the statements and then you ask me the question. Whatever confusion that you have, you ask me the question. So then others will be, said, exactly this is how it happens. So what I said is that dependent origination for the first 3 schools, Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, Chittamatra, for these 3 schools, dependent origination is applicable. Dependent origination means only the first level of dependent origination, number 1. And then dependent origination is applicable only to the impermanent phenomena, not to the permanent phenomena. Whereas Madhyamaka school, for them, dependent origination is applicable to all phenomena, permanent, impermanent, both. Did you hear very clearly what I said? Did you hear what I said? Good. And you have questions? I know you have many questions. What are the questions? What questions you have? Resents. Okay. First, let us say Wadi. Yes.
What are permanent phenomena?
Okay. So the Gabor and others. Yes. So in our class, in their class, there's something they studied way before. And we are studying way last. You getting it? Okay. Look at those people who smile. Okay. What is permanent phenomena? What is impermanent phenomena? The resonance also from NMC, NDC, NCC resonance. And what do you look at these people over there? Your name? Inpeng, right? Raise hand. Rishi, raise hand. Right? Resonance, all those people, right? So those people who want to know what is permanent, impermanent, go to get hold of one of these. Okay, you have your group discussion? Right, you have the group discussion. Do it in group discussion, see if you get the correct one. You getting it? Wali? No, they're really good. Okay, what's the question?
What are permanent phenomena?
Okay, what are permanent phenomena? So, how many of you are interested in this question? What is question with your hands? Many. Okay, right? Okay, those are from NMC, NDC, NCC, raise hands once more. The former ones, dropouts, all. Raise hands, including the dropouts, don't worry, raise hands. Gabor, raise hand. Right? So others, look at them, identify them. And going to during the group discussion, you must ask these questions to them. You getting it? What is permanent phenomena? Okay, good. Now, say dependent origination. It says by grasping at dependent origination, the childish meaning, people people who don't understand the Madhyamaka philosophy, which we studied, who don't know this philosophy, they are like small children. Because why they describe small children? Those who do not understand the Madhyamaka philosophy. Why? Anyone? No idea?
Because it's a separate.
Yeah. There's the lady there. Your name? Maho, yes.
Because they don't really understand the emptiness.
They don't understand emptiness. So if they don't understand emptiness, how they are like small children? Okay, Joel?
They believe the game they play.
Yes. So they create the convention and they attract the convention. They believe the convention is real, right? They believe the convention is real, like the small children. They create the rule of the game, and then they believe in this convention and they think that it's real, and they attract there. This is known as the childish or like small children. So those people who don't understand emptiness, they are like small children. So these children strengthen bondage to extreme views. Extreme views is view of permanent, the view of nihilism, and view of absolutism. So let's say that because they don't understand emptiness, they think that everything is objectively real. You getting it? So they say that because things exist dependently originated, because things are dependent, they believe in cause and effect. Cause and effect dependent origination. Because things are dependent originated, things should be in objectively real. They should be objectively real. You getting it? Are you following me?
Yes.
Okay, let me say this again. So those people who don't understand emptiness, for them everything exists objectively. And if I ask them, just tell me what makes you think that things are objective, that this flower exists objectively. What makes you think that flower exists? Because look at this flower, this is so real. This is so real, Is real. How real? Because it came from the seed. Cause, seed is a cause, then the flower came into being. So no, this object is real. It's not by the mind, it's by the seed. You're getting it? So they are identifying some objective essence to the flower. So for them, dependent origination, understanding dependent origination, reinforces their wrong view that the flower exists objectively. So it says they are bound to samsara even more. What is bound to samsara? Believing the dream is real. Yes? Believing the dream is real. Say, who will be free from the dream? Who believes the dream is real or who believes the dream is a dream? Who will be free from the dream? Who will be free from the nightmare, the scary dream? The one who believes in the dream is dream or one who believes the dream is real? Who will be freed? One who believes the dream is dream. The one who doesn't believe the dream is real. So whereas these people, they believe in the dream is real, that everything is the unconventional dream as real, right? So because of which, for them, dependent origin means that because things are dependent originated, they should be objectively real. Whereas for Prasangika, meaning for Madhyamaka, because things are dependent originated, therefore there is empty of independent existence. Empty of independent existence means no objective existence. You're getting it? So the same reasoning is given by the two different sides to prove their own points. The Madhyamaka would use the dependent origination reason to prove the emptiness of objective existence, not objective existence. So I say the various lower schools, they use dependent origination to prove that things exist objectively. So believing things objectively real is samsara or not samsara? That is samsara. So therefore they are bound to samsara even more. So it says, by strengthening by grasping at dependent origination, the childish strengthen the bondage to extreme views of that is objectively real. For the wise meaning Madhyamaka. Within Madhyamaka 2, again below. And I promise I will not complicate it more. Right? Madhyamaka there too. What are they? Prasangika Madhyamaka. Prasangika. 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 Manidipa. What is Prasangika? What's the spelling of that?
Prasangika.
Perfect. Prasangika, right? She learned from Deer Park. We learned it from Deer Park? No. Deer Park, what was the topic? Oh, we did not mention this, Prasangika. Okay. So which means you must be recording from a past life. Not from Deer Park, from past life. Okay. So Prasangika, Prasangika. Prasangika. This is the highest Buddhist school within Madhyamaka. The second one is Savatantrika Madhyamaka. Ming Peng. How do you pronounce it? Svatan. Perfect. Svatantrika. Savatantrika. Okay, Gabor, you have a question?
I just wanted to ask that. So only the first level of dependent origination is accepted, but is this true for Tikkun as well?
Yes.
So the dependence on mere mental invitation is not accepted?
No. Oh no. Okay. This is a good question. Okay, the Gabor's question is particularly for the NMC and this NCC. You getting it? His question. What he's saying is that the Chittamata, what we said is that the first three schools. Which are the first three schools? Again, the Varma. What are the first three schools? Varma. What are the first three schools? Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, Chittamatra. First three schools, they only believe in the dependent origination of results, dependence on the causes. Right? Okay. So Gabor's question, don't they believe in the third one? What's the third one? Was the third level of dependent origination? Dependent origination of dependence on mere mental designation. Don't they believe in this? Answer is they don't believe in this. Answer is simple. They don't believe in this. Right? And I don't want to go into more detail because it can confuse others. It's for the NMC, NCC, and NDC. Right? But don't worry, we can go more on this later on if you get time. Okay. So, let's read this. By grasping at it, the child is strength and follows to extreme views. For the wise, meaning Madhyamaka philosophers, particularly the Prasangika Madhyamaka philosophers, particularly Prasangika, these are the wise, this very fact, which very fact? The fact of dependent origination. This very fact of dependent origination is the doorway to cut free from the net of elaboration. So we're talking about the elaborations. So, okay, let's say, in your dream, you dreamt of, say for example, you are in Tushita, but you dreamt of being in a place. In a place there are so many people crowded, people with different clothes, and different houses, chariot, big words, cars, with the car plate numbers, the windows, and the houses. You see all these details, yes, in the dream. Possible? Yes? If yes, say yes. Be kind. Right? If you don't give me an answer, then I don't know whether you follow me or not. Yes? What yes? Huh? Which possible? In the dream, there are all the details, so many details can come in your mind. And sometimes I'm really checking, in the dreams. So sometimes, of course, we all have that experience. Sometimes when we dream, in the dream, once in a while we are aware that we are dreaming. Yes, once in a while we are aware that we are dreaming. How many of you had that experience? Raise your hands. Okay, now I'm dreaming. Good, we all have that experience. So sometimes when I know that I was dreaming, and let's say that, okay, I'm dreaming of sitting on this seat, and then I see the scarf there, and the scarf, okay, this is a dream. And now in the dream, I was just checking the details. The scarf, what kind of, what is that? The design there, and the flower is dream, which means it's pure coming from my mind. It's coming from, what's the capacity of my mind? How powerful is my mind to create the details? And if I am really to paint it, when I wake up, I can't paint like this. But in the dream, my mind is creating it. It's amazing. Wow, the power of the mind. It's not there. 100% it's not there. It's just my dream. I'm dreaming. But look at the details. It's amazing. How come that these details are coming? How my mind is creating all these details? It's amazing. So, how many details are there? Millions of details are there, right? And sometimes I dream of the murals, wall paintings. I didn't go there knowing that this is a dream. I should see what kind of paintings my mind is creating. Right? Amazing. Okay. So, these are the elaborations. Elaboration meaning details. For example, the food is elaborate, means for the so fancy, rich, varieties. You getting it? So elaborations here is in terms of varieties, innumerable varieties. And in this dream, how many such varieties come to your dream? Innumerable. You getting it? Okay, the moment you wake up, what happens to all these details? Disappear. All these elaborations drop. All these elaborations dissolve. Disappear. You getting it? Say, this is what is described. So it's that. So when you're in the dream, you see all these details, elaborations as real. You getting it? Real. When will they dissolve? When you wake up. When you wake up, seeing these details as as objectively real will stop, will dissolve, will disappear. So it says, for the wise, this very fact, for example, say, when you meditate in terms of the flower, what happens? When subject flower ultimate analysis, what happens to the flower? Flower disappears. Likewise, all these details with subjective and ultimate analysis, they all disappear. You're getting it? It doesn't mean that they are non-existent. They are non-existent in the eyes of the ultimate analysis. They do exist just subjectively. Objectively, they don't exist. But when we see them as objectively real, you're getting it? So it says, for the wise, Prasangika Madhyamaka, for them, this very fact of dependent origination is the doorway to cut, free you from the net of elaborations of seeing things as objectively real. You're getting it? It's like you wake up and all these details in the dream will simply stop. This is waking up. Okay. Whereas for the lower schools, this very fact of dependent origination will make the details even more solid, that they exist objectively for them. 7. Since this teaching is not seen elsewhere, you alone are the teacher. So this teaching is amazing. So when we get this experience that things, for example, the flower, substitute flower to ultimate analysis of flower disappears, and you really get it. So these experiences, like the tickling sensation, tinge of fear, and it said that this will come to you. So which means that from this, the agitation, sadness. What triggers sadness? You subject these, even the feelings, sad feelings, you subject them, they also disappear. The moment they dissolve, your mind will instantly become uplifted. Your mind will feel the lightness. Okay, so and this teaching, for the first time on the planet Earth, was taught to us by Prince Siddhartha, who became a Buddha. Till that point, everybody believed in objective existence. For the first time on the planet Earth, Buddha taught. Therefore, it says, since this teaching is not seen elsewhere, you, the Buddha Shakyamuni, you here refers to Buddha Shakyamuni. You, the Buddha Shakyamuni, alone are the teacher. Like calling a fox a lion for a Tirthika. Tirtha meaning the contemporary teachers of the Buddha. The teachers who were contemporary with the Buddha. So there were many teachers that were contemporary with the Buddha. They all believe in objective existence. For them, this is like calling a fox a lion. It would be a word of flattery for them. Number 8, wondrous teacher. Wondrous teacher meaning that, what's the meaning of teacher? Somebody who can give you proper information. The best of the information is information that nothing exists intrinsically. This is best of information. Why this best of information? You get this information and your mind will be liberated from the miseries of samsara. So, what the information that you get, you know this, you get this information and you are freed from the miseries. That information is so important. Yes, no? Yes. So whosoever teaches you that, this is the best of the teachers. So therefore the Buddha, you are the wondrous teacher. Wondrous refuge. Meaning that, because you teach that, and then I keep going with you, I keep following you. So I see that I can take refuge in you. Meaning that I follow you and I'm given the refuge, that I'm protected. Refuge. Wondrous speaker. So how the Buddha taught this emptiness, which is so difficult. The Buddha remained silent for 49 days without giving any teachings after enlightenment. So finally he started to give the teachings on the basis of the 4 different schools, philosophical schools, and understanding of dependent origination. With this, the means of dependent origination, you are an excellent speaker, wondrous speaker, and wondrous savior. Here, the better would be, instead of savior, the better would be benefactor. The Tibetan word is gun. Gun. Okay. Gun is the one who gives the benefit. And the kyap is the one who protects you from miseries. Gun is who gives you the benefit. These are slightly different. Kyap and gun. So here, The same the Tibetan word is gun. It should be translated as the benefactor, one who gives you the benefits. Benefits of liberation, benefits of Buddhahood, benefits of liberation, freedom from samsara. I pay homage to that teacher who taught well and dependent origination. So, dependent origination on these three levels in order to take us to understand emptiness. 9. To help heal sentient beings, O benefactor, referring to Buddha, you have taught the peerless reason to ascertain the emptiness. So finally, what should we be understanding? Finally, what should we be doing? Wake up from the sleep of ignorance. If you don't want to suffer, what should we do? Wake up from the sleep of ignorance. So, in what way waking up helps you? By waking up, it helps you to be free from suffering, because by waking up, you got to know that the contents of the dream are empty of being real. Yes? By waking up, how it helps is that you know that the contents of the dream are not real. Okay, they're empty of being real. Okay, so it says that 9, to help heal sentient beings. Heal sentient beings meaning heal the sentient beings from the scorching sun of believing in things of the real and therefore being bogged down by the three kinds of miseries. To heal them, our O benefactor, you have taught the peerless reason to ascertain emptiness. So, you are teaching them how to wake up from the sleep of ignorance to know that things are empty of being real. For that, what reason did you give? To take us to emptiness, what reason did you show? The reason of dependent origination. So the peerless reason, the most excellent reason of dependent origination to ascertain emptiness, the heart of the teaching. 10. This way of dependent origination, those who perceive it as contradictory or as unestablished, how can they comprehend your system? Okay. So let's say that I say that, okay, if I tell you that say Tushita is an extremely beautiful place, right? Say you've never been to Tushita, right? And then I'm thinking of signing up for Tushita retreat. We said, good. I said, oh, it's an amazing place. And then what do you ask? How? Right? How's nice? Oh, because it has roads. You're happy, not happy? No, what is this? You're getting it? So simply because it's a road doesn't mean that the place is good. So it says what? This way of dependent origination, those who perceive it as contradictory or as unestablished. Okay, let's say that Tushita, you want to sign up for Tibet, Tushita. You said, yes, I'm thinking of. And how good is Tushita? Oh, it's an amazing place. Then what is your question? Why or how is good? Because this is a place you will meet His Holiness the Dalai every day. Right? Because His Holiness is in Tushita. Is it true or not true?
No.
Not true, it's unestablished. Number 10, this way of dependent origination, those who perceive it as contradictory or unestablished, you're getting it? It's not true. It's unestablished. This information is unestablished. You're getting it? Okay, now let's say that. Okay, let's say that this is a very good place, right? And then you ask me why? You ask me what? Why? Because it has pubs. Right? You are fed up with pubs. You know what is pub? Tomorrow?
For drinking?
Yes. Okay. So you are fed up with pubs in your own countries, right? Now you come for the spiritual center, not for the pub center. And then you say, yes, this is so good. And then you say, why? Right? Oh, it has amazing pubs. Then you will say, this is what I dislike. You're getting it? So it is contradictory. Where is it? Where is it? Which verse? Verse 10. So what is pubs? I don't like it. For pubs, it's not a good place, right? This is contradictory with the good place. So it says, this word dependent origination, those who perceive it as contradictory or as unestablished, how can they comprehend your system? Okay, now let's say that unestablished meaning those people who don't say if you say that things are all like dream. Okay, I said that everything's like dream. Then you what do you ask? What would you ask? How? Because everything is dependent on originate. If you don't believe in dependent origination, nothing dependent originates. It's all dictated by external forces. There's no dependent factor. Right? So if I say everything is like dream, you can be liberated. Wow, that's amazing. But how can I know? Because everything is dependent originated. You will say, it's unestablished. I don't believe in dependent origination. You're getting it? And then some other people who say that, who thinks that whatever is dependent originated should be objectively real. Then I said, nothing exists objectively. Then you will ask, how? Because everything is dependent originated. Then you say it's contradictory. What is dependent originated should be objectively real. Instead, it is contradiction. It is contradiction with empty of objective reality. You got it? How many of you got it? Raise hands. Okay. So those people to whom the contradictory is like the lower schools, Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, Chitamatra. For these three, for them, it's contradictory to say that things are empty of objective reality because they are dependent originated. They will say, no, that's not true. This is contradictory. The reason is contradictory to the thesis. Then the unestablished is those people who don't believe in dependent origination in the first place. No, there's nothing, there's no cause and effect. It's all random. For example, in the ancient Indian the tradition, there's so many philosophical traditions. One philosophical tradition is known as Charvaka. It's amazing. Charvaka, they don't believe. No blind faith for them. No blind faith, and they're extreme. They say that everything is random. There's no cause and effect. There's no God creating. There's no cause and effect affecting the. It's just randomly produced. Right? Okay. How round is this? No, it's round or not round? It's good. It's circle? It's circle, not circle. And how good is a circle? It's a good circle, right? And how did it become circle? Man's effort? Yes. What about the beans? Beans are very round, very smooth. Who made the beans round? Nobody. It's random. You're getting it? And the needles, how many of you use needles in your life to stitch something? How pointed are they? They're very pointed. The thorns are also very pointed. Who made the thorns pointed? Nobody made it. They're all random. Right? This is Charvaka philosophy. So Charvaka said that no, it's all random. There's no cause and effect. You're getting it? It's all random. So for them, when we say that things are all like dream because they are dependent originated, what do they say? No, they're not dependent originated. They're random. You're getting it? This is unestablished. For the Charvakas and others, this is unestablished. For the Buddhist schools, which are from the Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, Chitamatra, it is contradictory. Very good. So therefore, for these people, while the Buddha taught dependent origination primarily to take us to understand emptiness, but for these people, they take us to the opposite direction. They say that, no, emptiness is not true. You give the reason of dependent origination. The reason itself is unestablished. And some say the reason is contradictory. You're getting it? So this, by no means, dependent origination understanding can take you to understand the emptiness. Okay, for the unwise people. Okay, so as contradictory or as unestablished, how can they comprehend your system? Who are they? Those who see the reason of dependent origination as unestablished, or who see the reason of dependent origination as contradictory. For these two people, they cannot comprehend your system. Which is your system? The system of emptiness of objective existence. Okay. Number 11. For you, when one sees emptiness in terms of the meaning of dependent origination. So when we see that dependent origination means emptiness, so we already studied that emptiness equals dependent origination, and dependent origination equals the middle way. Therefore, emptiness equals the middle way. For you, when one sees emptiness in terms of the meaning of dependent origination, then by being devoid of intrinsic existence meaning empty of objective existence, being devoid of intrinsic existence and possessing valid functions. Things function validly, number one. On the other hand, things are empty of objective existence. Do these two contradict?
No.
Huh? Do you understand what I'm saying? What I said, on the one hand, that things are empty of objective existence. On the other hand, things validly function. So these two contradict or not?
No.
Huh?
No.
They don't contradict. How not? Yes, Varna, yeah, Varma.
Different level, no? Conventional level.
These two are compatible. How?
Function in conventional level, that function, the depend of...
Okay, the functionality is on the level of in the eyes of the conventional analysis, whereas emptiness in the eyes of the ultimate analysis. There is no contradiction. It's a different perspective. It's a different perspective. Two truths of the same object. There's no contradiction. Okay, but for the others, these two are seen as contradictory. Okay. 11. For you, when one sees emptiness in terms of the meaning of dependent origination, that being devoid of intrinsic existence on the one hand, then on the other hand, possessing valid functions, the two do not contradict. Okay. 12. Whereas when one sees the opposite meaning that when you see that these two are not compatible, these two are contradictory, emptiness and the functionality, these two are seen as contradictory for you, for those people. 12. Whereas when one sees the opposite, since there can be no, for them, if you say that the things function, it is not empty. It's not empty of objective. Function means objectively function. For them, function and object function mean the same. For the opponents of the Madhyamaka, for them existence and objective existence mean the same. If something exists, it should exist objectively, and if something does not exist objectively, it should not be existent altogether. You getting it? So for them, say emptiness and functionality, these two are contradictory. How? For them, functionality means objective functionality. So if it's empty of objective reality, then the functionality cannot be positive for them. Tomar?
I think I'm confused on this part.
Yes.
Like it does not really make sense to me. Like how can things be like dependent origination in the third level, like on the base being imputed by a valid mind, but also the base is existing the same way. Like
same way meaning?
Only by dependent on a valid mind imputing a base.
Yes.
So, but still like things don't have any substance, but still somehow there is matter in the world.
Okay, Tomar, do you mean to say that? Let's say that this flower it fulfills the third level of dependent origination. That this flower is dependent originated by dependence on mental designation. You agree. So, but to designate the flower, there should be something there at the base. Which should be called as the basis of designation. The atoms should be there. Right? So, atoms, they're also empty of objective existence. So what's the problem? Something should be there. Is your point?
Yes.
It's not just always impure. There should be something should be there, the basis of foundation, basis of destination, so that we can impute. Something should be there. Okay. So because of Tomar, Acharya Bodhisattva Rakshita, he came on the planet Earth 1,000 years ago. He knows that tomorrow is going to come after 1,000 years. So therefore he came up with a philosophy which says that half-half. You happy? Half from the subject, half from the object. There should be something from the object, right? Is this happy for you?
I mean, when emptiness is not a...
This is what I'm saying. So, no, for you. So when you say imputation, there should be something, the base of destination. There should be something there, right? So this philosophy is so good for you. It's only to talk, don't worry. For you, he came 1,000 years ago. Bodhisattva Rakshita. He's a very famous. He's a philosopher and a logician also, and a psychologist. So he taught this philosophy and he left it for you. Right? There's one text by the name, The Ornament of Madhyama Philosophy. Right? This is the text for you. He knows that you're coming. You'll be born after 1,000 years. So there's whole philosophy there, which says that there's something there from the object. You're getting it? It's not only imputation. There should be something there from the object. Half. Right? This philosophy is taught. Okay. Any more questions?
But how does Prasangika contradict it?
Okay. No, you're happy with this? Stay with this. Or you don't want to stay with this? You want to say how the Prasangika reject us? Right? Then you have to do this. Acharya Chandrakirti came, right? Acharya Chandrakirti, two of them, there's a gap of 100 years, right? Bodhisattva Rakshita and Acharya Chandrakirti, two of them, there's a gap of 100 years. He came first, and you're not happy. So Bodhisattva Rakshita came to make you happy, right? So if you want to know how he rejects, you have to join this. Right, I'll give you here. I'll give it for you. This way. This way. Okay, what next? Okay, good. We continue it now. Really. Okay. 12. Whereas when one sees the opposite, if you don't see emptiness and the functionality as compatible, if you see these two as contradictory, then you are the opposite of the Buddha's view. Since there can be no function for you, function and emptiness, these two are contradictory. For functions, emptiness is not possible. For emptiness, function is not possible. This is your view, meaning the advocates of objective existence. Whereas when one sees the opposite, since there can be no function in emptiness and no emptiness in what is function, so that way one falls in the dreadful abyss. Is the question about the abyss?
Like a deep
like the chasm or deep cliff. Yes, you fall in. Why fall? Because you believe in objective existence. And you will be sucked into the dream. You believe in the dream is real, so you cannot come out of the dream, chasm of the dream. Okay. 13. Therefore, in your teaching, who's teaching? In the teaching of the Buddha, seeing dependent origination is hailed. Hailed meaning is praised. That is so important, is praised. That too, not as an utter non-existence, nor as an intrinsic existence. Meaning that, is it non-existent? Things are non-existent? Do things exist? Yes, it is not utter non-existence. And do they exist objectively? No, they don't exist objectively. Did we do that before? Yes. When did we do that? Wali?
Today? Yesterday?
Or anyone else? When did you do that? Just the opening of the emptiness topic, right? At the first. Just before we say, I said that before we jump into emptiness, we have to deal with two questions. You remember that? What's the first question? Do things exist? What's the answer? Yes, which means things are not utterly non-existent. You're getting it? It says here. What's the second question? Yes, Shristi, tell me. Tell us. Do things exist objectively? What's the answer? No. Things do exist, but they don't exist objectively. So it says here, seeing dependent origination is hailed. There are two. Number 13, line 3. Not true as an utter non-existence. This gives the answer to which question? First one. No as an intrinsic existence. This gives answer to which question? Second question. You getting it? It's very clear now. Okay, 14. The non-contingent is like a sky flower. Non-contingent meaning non-dependent. Non-dependent means independent. Okay, do things exist independently? No. Nothing exists independently. Nothing is non-contingent. Nothing is non-contingent. Everything is contingent. Contingent meaning dependent. The non-contingent, if there is non-contingent, if there's independent entity, then there should be like a flower in the air, floating in the air like this, in the sky, like this. There's a flower in the air. Can you imagine a flower hanging in the air? Huh?
I can imagine, but it does not exist.
Yes, it does not happen. It cannot happen. You can imagine, but it cannot happen, right? Okay. But balloons can hang in the air. But balloons in the hydrogen gas can hang in the air, right? If the flower can hang in the air, then it should become, let's say there's suddenly this singing ball, it rises up in the air, it says like this, then you'll be fascinated or not. When a holy is not fascinating, it's very boring. But when it's on its own without my hand, then you'll be very fascinated, yes? Why? It should become independent. Independent is sitting in the air. Right? Okay. So there, if there's non-contingent phenomena, then there should be a sky flower in the sky without needing any support. Without needing independent of any support. You getting it? If such a flower is there, then you can talk about non-contingent or independent entity. So, 14 says, if the opponents would say that everything exists objectively means independently, as a non-contingent. If it's non-contingent, independent, it should be like a sky flower. Hence, there's nothing that is, because such a sky flower never happens, right? You can just imagine it, but it never happens. As such, hence there is nothing that is not dependent. Everything is dependent. Number 2, if things exist through their essence meaning objectively, from its own side, from essence, their dependence on causes and conditions for their existence is a contradiction. If things do exist objectively and independently, they cannot depend on causes and conditions. 15. Therefore, since no phenomena exists other than origination through dependence, which means that everything exists by dependent origination. Therefore, no phenomena exists other than being devoid of intrinsic existence. Therefore, no phenomena exists as independent. No phenomena exists other than being devoid of intrinsic existence. Everything is empty of intrinsic existence. You taught. This is what you, the Buddha, taught. In fact, the Buddha the Buddha, when he left the palace, to renounce the royal family, left the palace, and went in search of the solution to all the problems of the whole world. And so he has to seek the help of a teacher. So the first teacher that he met was Acharya Aladakalam. And I think we did it here in this class. I already explained it. Acharya Aladakalam, and then he reached the same level of the meditative experience as the teacher. He asked for more teachings. And Acharya Aladakalam said, "You have got everything. There's nothing to give you extra." And then, because this Prince Siddhartha knows that he did not get the answer, the solution to solve the problems of all the beings. So he went in search of a more deeper path. He met a second teacher, Acharya Udreka. And again, he learned and he reached the same level as the teacher, asked for more teaching. The teacher said, no, you have already reached the ultimate. There's nothing more. All my students are your students. Guide them and stay with me. And then the Prince Siddhartha was not happy. He left. And finally, he discovered this, that everything is like a dream. You wake up and all the miseries will dissolve. This is what he discovered. Okay, so this is 15. Therefore, since no phenomenon exists other than origination through dependence, no phenomenon exists other than being devoid of intrinsic existence, you taught. Because intrinsic nature cannot be negated if phenomena did possess some intrinsic nature. Meaning that if things, say for example, let's say that, okay, let's say that I think it was Michael who helped me, right? Yes. Do you remember day 1? I asked for your advice. You remember that? Right? I was in Delhi. I live in Delhi. 3rd floor. Right? So then they asked the asthma problem. What do you do? And some of you said go to hospital. Some of you said that come to Denmark. Who's that? Paul said come to Denmark. And then some people said, what? Use the dehumidifier, right? Very expensive. So, and then Michael said, okay, Geshe, don't listen to all these, people. Just give me 10 minutes. Let me come in your room. He said, come. He checked and he said that, Geshe, now I've got the problem. I have seen the problem. What the problem is? So, he then got a glue just for $1. Right? Glue and put it there, the house becomes so dry and my asthma gone. You getting it? You don't want to buy dehumidifier, very expensive. Then you don't want to go to hospital. You don't want to go to Denmark. Right? So because that we're able to identify the root cause and fix it. So if you know how to wake up from the sleep of ignorance, then all what happened in the sleep, in the dream, will instantly stop. Right? Is extremely sensible. So the Buddha identified the root cause and he taught us, he discovered how to stop this root cause. Okay. 15. Therefore, 16. Because intrinsic nature cannot be negated if phenomena did possess some intrinsic nature. So if this damnness in this house is coming because of no cause, causeless is happening, then you cannot do anything, yes? You cannot do anything. So because that there's a cause, you can fix the cause. If everything exists independently, you cannot fix the problem. You're getting it? It says, because intrinsic nature cannot be negated if phenomena did possess some intrinsic nature or independent nature. And if that's the case, then if you're suffering, you have to continue suffering. Because nobody can change that. If nobody can change that, then you will never attain nirvana. Nirvana becomes impossible. It makes sense? So it says, no phenomena, 16, because intrinsic nature cannot be negated if phenomena did possess some intrinsic nature. In which case, nirvana would become impossible and elaborations could not be ceased. So the contents of the dream, elaborations in the dream will continue to harass you, continue to bother you. So your miseries will continue. The elaboration cannot be stopped. Whereas, when does the elaboration of the dream stop? When you wake up. You getting it? Okay. And this is what you taught. 17. Therefore, who could challenge you? You who proclaimed with the lion's roar in the assembly of learned ones repeatedly that everything is utterly free of intrinsic nature. And how the Buddha taught emptiness is taught to the most brilliant of the people. And nobody could challenge his position, and everybody just in a way like comply or what they say agree that this is
Seed. C-E-D-E.
seed, meaning?
Argument.
Seed meaning?
That.
That accept.
Yes.
Yes. So everybody's seed, what the Buddha taught, so therefore there's no challenge. In other words, this teaching is extremely logical and it accords with the reality. It's not like a dogma. Right? You have to follow this. It's not like a dogma. This is what he discovered and he taught it, and all the intelligent people, smart people would just agree with this. Okay, 17. Therefore, who could challenge you? You who proclaim with lion's roar in the assembly of learned ones repeatedly that everything is utterly full of intrinsic nature. So, that even if we go through very difficult times, if we persevere to understand what emptiness says, and you get a glimpse of this, you will see that this is the ultimate liberation. So 18. Okay, and that there is no intrinsic existence at all, and that all functions as this arising and depends on that. What need is there to say that these two converge without conflict? You agree? That nothing exists intrinsically, and on the other hand, that everything comes to existence by dependence on this and that. So these two don't contradict. They are compatible with each other. They are compatible to each other. Okay. 19. It is through the reason of dependent origination that one does not lean towards the extreme. Meaning that if you don't lean towards the extremes, you are doing what? You follow the middle way. Okay. Is there anybody who can explain how these two lines? 18. No, 19. It is through the reason of dependent origination that one does not lean towards the extreme. Is there anybody who can explain these two lines? Raise your hands. Yes, Michael.
So you don't want extremes of mind in the absolutism because you know that things exist, but they don't exist objectively.
Okay, can you explain how dependent origination means not leaning towards the
It
extreme?
doesn't exist objectively, but it does exist.
Yes, but okay, this is perfect. Is there anybody who likes to articulate it? Okay, Gabor. Yes, Gabor.
So dependent origination has two parts.
Has two sides, two parts.
Dependence and origination.
Very good.
And dependence rejects independence. So that rejects absolutism. And origination means that it originates, so it exists, so it rejects nihilism. So these are the two extremes that are being.
So combining together rejects the two extremes. Reject the two extremes is following the middle way, right? Okay. Is there anybody who likes to paraphrase it? So what Gabor said is perfect. Is there anybody who likes to paraphrase it? Okay. Everyone, we all have to say this, each one of us, right? One by one. Okay, first Srishti. We all have to say this. You are ready? Be ready. First Srishti.
Dependent origination has two parts, dependence and origination. Dependence implies that things are not independent nature, that rejects absolutism, and origination rejects nihilism, but how?
Origination means something comes into existence.
Something comes in existence and rejects nihilism, the two extremes.
Okay, good. Okay, now one by one, ready? One by one, ready? Oscar, ready? Oscar K, Oscar C. Ready? Oh, yes, Oscar C.
She's right.
Okay, Ming Cheng? Yes.
My name is Yin Peng.
Yin Peng. Okay, Yin Peng, yes.
Dependent is it rejects independence, so it rejects absolutism.
Yes.
Whereas origination means existence. So it rejects nihilism. So
Perfect.
So it's the middle way. So yes.
Perfect. Very good. Okay. But we all have to say this. Ready? So like, okay. Manidiva, ready? Yes, Manidiva, tell me. Dependent origination. Yes. Manidiva.
No, I missed it.
Okay. The lady over there, then Manidiva. Lady over there.
Well, I have a question. Does dependent, like going through the logic of dependent origination, does that answer those two questions of do things, I think it answers the question that things exist and that things don't exist objectively.
Perfect. But the question that I'm asking here is how does it says if you accept dependent origination, this should help you not to lean against the two extremes. Right?
So
How not?
the question, answering the question, do things exist, and saying yes, that protects against nihilism, or keeps you from falling into nihilism because you're...
And the question is dependent origination. How? By dependent origination, it helps you to turn to middle way by avoiding the two extremes. How? Anyone?
Because don't you go through the questions?
Yes, two questions. Yes. I'm not saying that what you said is wrong. What you're saying is perfectly correct. So I'm just expecting people to say how dependent origination equals the middle way. If you can explain this, then the middle way means not leading towards the two extremes. Okay, here. Your name again? Sorry. Terry.
So dependent rejects nihilism because, dependent rejects absolutism because things don't exist from their own side, they are dependent.
Perfect.
And then origination rejects nihilism because things exist, so
it's not nothingness.
yes, there is.
So, two extremes avoided.
Yes.
Avoiding two extremes is following the middle way.
Yes.
Perfect. Very good. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, now Manidiva.
If we say that things exist, we fall into nihilism because
So can we start with dependent origination? So dependent origination means the middle way. Dependent origination, there are two sides. Can you start from there? Okay, don't worry. Okay, so I'm sure that you all got it. Yes? Okay. Which verse we are reading? 19 done. Done or not done? Are you sure? It's half. Huh? Just the first one, yes. It is through the reason of difference, which means that you are wanting to, you are telling me to stop the class now. Right? Not done, you are saying done. Only Peter says, no, it's not done. Only the first line done. Right? Only the first line done, and you said done. Okay, you will try it? Okay, then we'll do it, I'll promise. I'll do this verse and we'll stop here. It is through the reason of dependent origination that one does not lean towards the extreme. That you, the Savior, you, the Buddha, the Savior, have declared this excellently is the source of your unexcelled speech. So, Arjuna always praise the Buddha, never ever praise the Buddha for having performed miracles. You're getting it? Never praise the Buddha for having performed miracles. Buddha performed many miracles. on 15th day of the first month of lunar calendar. He performed many miracles. But Arinyakarjuna never praised the Buddha for having performed miracles. Ordinary people will praise the Buddha for performing miracles, right? If somebody performs miracles, you become a guru. Some miracle, even if maybe fake miracle or real miracle, we're not sure. So you become an amazing guru. There are millions of followers, yes? But Arinyakarjuna never praised the Buddha for having performed miracles. Only praise the Arinyakarjuna made to the Buddha is that you have taught dependent origination. You have taught emptiness. Because by anybody who understands this, the people will be liberated. By seeing the miracle, you will have nothing. You will not get anything, right? What will you get? Say, right? They say that if our Mikhail levitated in the air for 2 minutes, right? Then I will guarantee you, this could be traffic jam in Dharamsala. Right? Traffic jam in Dharamsala. Right? Everybody, then BBC, NCC, everybody will come. By aeroplane, by helicopter, they will come. You get it? And then the people will come. Millions will come. And how will they go? What will they get? They will get, wow, finish. Right? Besides this, they will not get anything. Right? Wow. And then they get, that's it. So therefore, the smart people, Arinyakarjuna, they know that ordinary people, they will be fascinated by the miracles. And finally they take away what, wow, and this is what they take away. They have nothing else to take away. They lost money. Right? Okay. So whereas wise people will see something, will praise something which anybody can take away for their own liberation. That is something so precious. What is that? The wisdom of emptiness. Okay. So we'll stop here. Page 52. Dedication. I dedicate the marriage thus gathered to conscious realization that is in the prayers of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas for 3 times and to the upholding of the doctrine, scripture and insight. May in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfectly in the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, master space that have amassed from working with effort in this practice for a great length of time, may I become the sheep-leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom eyes planted by ignorance. Bodhisatva